Well, hello YouTube. How's everybody doing today? Hope y'all having a really good, miserably hot day. Leo here. We are expecting about 97 degrees today. So yeah, let's go camping. That sounds like a great idea. Well, it kind of sounds like a good idea, sort of. Could be fun. Could be fun. Anyway, I am out. I'm on a little desolate trail, as you can see, in Pike County, Kentucky, as a matter of fact, not far from Williamson West Virginia, just on the Kentucky side. Hatfield McCoy feud territory. Again, this is, home sweet home, my backyard. Anyway, I am way out in the woods and headed on in deeper. And brought me a nice canopy, nice shady canopy with me, so we should be good. But anyway, I just thought I would stop here on the way in. Shady spot. That sun is, sun's not good, not good at all. Not fun. But anyway, I'm gonna go set me up. I brought a whole bunch of really nice stuff, camping tent, and brought me a TV. I'm gonna set up my big screen TV in my tent, and and all this kind of stuff. Making some nachos later. I had to bring my weed eater. The spot that I've got picked out, like I said, it's gonna be 97 today. So I've got a really good shady spot picked out. But the last time I was up there was last winter, I believe. And I'm guessing, it's mid-June. I'm guessing there might be some weedy stuff, something along the lines of that. So I'll have to clear me out a little place. But it's a nice little spot. I liked it. It's just a hidden little spot, way back in the mountains. But I guess that's the good thing about being, an ex-trail guide. Where all the hidden little nooks are, the little cool places, where all those are. But this one here is one that I came up a couple years ago. And, I knew where it was at, liked the spot, all that kind of stuff, wanted to camp there. But it was really, really trashy. I mean, real bad. And so I went up there and camped and took a bunch of trash bags with me. And I think I bagged up, 7 bags altogether. And I took out 3 bags with my, camping stuff. And the next time I was up through this way with some trail riders, hey guys, you care if I stop by my camping spot and pick up some trash? I'll show you a really cool camping spot. What do you say? We need to head on out. Like I said, I've got a ton of crap in this. It's a Can-Am Defender, and I've got it full here. And I've got, look at that, the passenger seat's full. Got a big screen TV in there, for God's sakes. And I've got something new. I've got a couple new things I want to show you guys. I mean, state of the art. A vendor sent it to us, and I'll just be honest. When I first got the email about this, I was trying to play it cool. You know what I mean? It's something that I've really wanted for a long time, and they offered to, well, we want you to send you one, and you do a review on it on your channel. I'm all being cool, yes, I would rather enjoy doing that, you know what I mean? Inside though, you're like, can't wait to get your hands on it. Blackberries, some of them ripe. See shade. This is it. Home sweet home for the next little while. Welcome to my house, guys. Just double check. That way, sun's gonna set over there. Okay, that'll work. I've got good canopy all the way down. That'll work. And she rises there. That should be great, right in there. That should be nice and shady. Right there's the one I want. Right here. Quit playing with the camera. Get the weed eater out. And get to work. Alright guys, welcome to Casa de Leo. Kind of like Fantasy Island, but you know, way back in the Appalachian Mountains. I'm not sure if that makes me Rourke or Tattoo though. If you're under 30, you're not going to get that one, so you know, don't even bother. You're not going to get it. Getting set up, I've got most of the hard part done. I've still yet got all the little detail stuff, you know, hooking the tanks up and my electrical stuff and all that. But I got the hard work part done. It took me right at 2 hours to get everything done, get the grass cut, sticks moved, and you know, there's a little bit of trash, nothing dramatic, a little bit, you know, candy wrappers and chip bags and things like that. But we got that cleaned up and got the canopy up. I got it in full canopy mode right now, trying to make as much shade as I possibly can. Got my little outdoor gaming chair. Got my TV set up, little fan. We'll just go ahead and leave him on for a minute. It's pretty warm. Anyway, I set up my little time lapse over there and put everything together and just kind of set it up, and had to sit down for a minute in front of the fan and kind of dry out a little bit. That thing has come in handy. But here in a minute, I'm going to hook up all of my electrical stuff. And well, you can see I brought a TV. There ain't no power poles up here. I do have cell service though. I have 2 bars. That's enough. That's all I need is 2 bars. 2 bars will work. I have something right here that I'm going to show you guys in a little while, and I brought some of my homemade hillbilly solar generator thingy. Yeah, it's I made it myself. It's surprisingly simple. You know, if anybody's curious, if any of you guys are curious about, you know, setting up, you know, a little solar generator, you know, and that kind of thing, I'll show you a little bit here in a little while, and you know, kind of show you a few little tricks, and in plain English, you know what I'm saying. That's a big thing too, you know. This is actually, I'll just go ahead and show you. This is what I was telling you about on the trail coming up. Let me get this out here in some light where you can see what this is. Now this, I know what you're thinking. It looks like a car battery. Okay, this is absolutely not a car battery. A company called Power Queen sent me an email and asked me if I would like to try out one of their batteries. This is you know, Life P.O. you know, they're lithium. It's a lithium variant. Some of you may be familiar with the name. This is a specialized battery for solar applications, for off-grid, boats, yachts, campers. I'm going to be using this in my camper. And, that's what I really want it for, to run the inverters and all that good stuff in the camper for when I'm off-grid. And I can use my solar panels to, recharge this puppy. But this is made, it's made to dump massive amounts of power in and out, is the whole idea. It has a little control board inside there, battery control system, battery management system, excuse me. It's basically, electronics that control what's going on and, voltages and all this kind of stuff. And if you've got a car battery and you're using a car battery, which is what I usually do. Let me show you. Now, some of you may have seen part of this before. I've used it once or twice, camping. Yeah, fan's still on, but that's okay. We got plenty of power. Like I said, this is the charger that they sent me to it. And I'll show you that in a second. Voltmeter. This goes to solar panel, to the charge controller and the solar panel. And this simply hooks on to the battery's terminals. And this is something I made, cobbled together. It's adapters and, I cobbled this together. And, it's got 12 volt adapter. It's got USB 3.0, all that good stuff, voltage readout. I've even got a little light that goes in right here to make a, light, for camping. But it's really simple. If you can do red to red, black to black, you're probably okay. It's not that, as you can see, it's not that complicated. Okay, and you can pause that if you need to look at it. But anyhow, I've been using a 500 amp ATV battery, but then my ATV battery went dead and I had to put that battery in my ATV. And so I've been using this with the spare truck battery, 700 amp truck battery, when I do winter camping to run the diesel heater and, bigger stuff like that, and, TVs, whatnot, you know what I mean. But this is the component that I was missing right there. A real battery that's actually made for this kind of stuff, for off-grid applications, cold weather, all kinds of stuff. It just totally ignores it. You can dump massive amounts of power, current, whatever you want to pronounce it, or whatever term you want to use. You can put a whole lot. It has a really high storage capacity, and even at lower, when it starts to get low, it still puts out, the voltages and the everything is still, it maintains until it goes all the way down. But like I said, now this will just plug into that, and I will be, the entire time I'm here, I will be using this puppy right here to power all of my stuff, all of my camera equipment, chargers, little battery packs, TV equipment, of course the phone, obviously, and all of my lighting tonight as well. And I brought some stuff. I brought some lights. So I we're going to give him a real run for its money. And, I've got it fully charged. This is its first time out. I'm still trying to not get it too dirty. But check this out. Look here. Now, when I had my battery in here, the 500 amp battery in this, I've got a digital readout right here to, keep an eye on my battery, right? Look here. There's an app for that. Look at that. Bluetooth. Check it out. How cool is that? I've got all the stats on my battery. The power, the current, the voltage, capacity, temperature, all kinds of stuff. Now that is cool. because when you're out camping and you're running, especially if you're running, you know, high demand devices, you know what I'm saying? You're pulling some power, right? You can wreck a battery. You can wreck one real quick if you ain't careful. And this is not going to do that. I'm not going to have that problem. Another thing too, say you take, like when I was using regular, you know, lead acid batteries or, you know, whatever. This is a lithium variant. There's about, I think, 5 flavors of lithium variants. Now, I'm no solar panel expert. I'm no solar generator or battery expert, but I know enough to be dangerous. You know, I'm a good amateur. You know, I can build my own. So, I mean, I guess that makes you a halfway decent amateur, I suppose. But with the other battery, what I was saying, to charge up a regular battery, and if y'all charge batteries, you know what I'm talking about. Typically, you want to use a lower amperage, like say a trickle charger. 1-2 amps gives you a strong charge. If you charge it quicker, you will get to, you know, you'll get charged, but it's not as strong. It's not fully charged. And, you know, realistically, they're called 12-volt batteries, but a 12-volt battery is dead. A 13-volt battery is charged. You know, if you've got 12 volts on your battery, it'll run your headlights maybe. But as soon as you try to start it, you know, them lights is going off. It's not going to do nothing. But anyway, you take a trickle charger and charge the batteries up. It takes about 2 days to charge the batteries up. This puppy comes with a 20 amp charger. Check that out. Now this is made specifically for this battery, and the Power Queen has these as well. You know, you get it same places. Their online is called iPowerQueen.com, but you know the company's called Power Queen. But this is made specifically to charge these Life P04, however you want to pronounce it. You know, it takes 2 days to charge a battery for that. This thing is a 20 amp charger. I charged that battery in about 2 hours. This thing knows what's going on. It's got little control modules and stuff. You know, it's the technology. This is stone cold stupid cool, guys. I mean, you could take a decent panel, decent charge controller, little inverter, and you can run just about anything you want to run for quite a while. You know, you're not going to do like a heat pump or, you know, run a house air conditioner for 5 days, you know, straight or something like that while you're camping, you know. But those are really high demand is why I say that. You know, that kind of stuff is really high drain. And just in case anybody's curious about any of the specs, I'll just put that right there for a second, and you can see that it's a 100 amp hour battery, 1280 watt charge discharge. Check that out, 100 amps. Did you see that? 100 amps in and out. That is a massive that's a massive amount of power, guys. I don't know if any of y'all mess around with cars or play with anything, you know, 12 volt, whatever. You know what I mean. All right, I'm gonna get off here and get back to it. I've got some more stuff to do, and yeah, this is gonna be fun. But yeah, the site looks good. My little spot's all cleaned up. It's nice and cool inside there. It's probably, well, out in the sun. If you step out in the sun, it's actually really warm out. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's probably, I'm gonna say 93, 95. Let me show you something else I saw over here too. Look at this. Right here, just right off my campsite. Now you want to be careful when you do this. When you approach, you want to look around and make sure there ain't no movement. All right, coast looks clear. Ripe raspberries. Just a few feet from my tent. Check that out. Raspberries are my favorite. I don't trust blackberries. You can't trust them. You'll be eating blackberries and, oh my God, this is so delicious. This is so delicious. And then you bite one and it's the most sour thing you've ever eaten in your entire life. I don't trust them. If you're going to be delicious, be delicious. If you're going to be bitter, be bitter. Check it out. Just that quick. Oh my God. Oh my God, that is delicious. That was stunningly, that was shockingly good. I'm gonna do that again. That actually caught me off guard. I didn't expect it to be all that. That is cool. There's a ton of them too. Look at that. All the way up through there, over there. I bet there's more too. I bet there's more down through this little trail right here. That is finger licking good, man. No doubt. Well, that makes me happy right there. That really did. That made me smile. That was surprisingly delicious. Speaking of surprisingly delicious, that was totally not deliberate, I swear. I'm going to fix here in a little while, and y'all saw the little stove out there. I'm going to fix some nachos. Well, guys, what do you think? I think we can call this test a success, wouldn't you? Check that out. Excellent signal strength. I've got it hotspot set up to my phone, and here we go. Can't really show anything, you know, copyright strike. Can't exactly, you know, throw on Jumanji or something. Why not? Pick one of my videos, one of our videos. I can't get in trouble that way. I can play them all I want. Hi. Successful test, I do believe. We got TV, middle of nowhere, miles from anything. I mean, you could plug into a raspberry bush, but it probably ain't gonna do much. Look at that. That is sweet. That is cool. All self-contained. Alright, we're done with that for now. I just wanted to check it, see if it'd work. That is cool. That is cool. We'll be watching movies a little bit later, y'all. This is certainly, most certainly, some timber rattler territory. Matter of fact, if I was a timber rattler, this is exactly where I would be. Probably right over there somewhere. Living my best little timber rattler life, no doubt. It's not too hot in the tent. It's nice and shady, nice and cool in there, and especially in front of that fan. That fan helps a lot. That makes a big difference right there. All right, I'm gonna play with something else here in a little while. What time is it anyway? 2:30. Okay, I guess about 3:30 I'll start dinner maybe. And we eat about 4:30, something like that, have dinner. I'm really looking forward to that. I very much looking forward to that. Well, guys, it is hot. It is really, 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 really hot. It's, hang on, 4:52 now. About 3-4 o'clock when the sun was, 2 to 4, when the sun was like directly overhead. Yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, that was definitely a thing. When the sun was out overhead, oh yeah, that was a thing. Oh, by the way, I want to introduce you guys. By the way, I want to introduce you to my new best friend. This fan right here. Heather, I just want to let you know, Heather, if we ever get remarried, this fan's going to be my best man. He saved my life today. Good dude. I got everything in there. It looks, I know it looks like a jumbled mess, but it really isn't. I've just got a bunch of junk, a bunch of stuff in there. And I've been running the fan the whole time, had the TV on the whole time. Well, not the whole time, but I had Pandora. We're still sitting at 99%. Room temperature. Still sitting at 99. And it's just, air temperature hasn't warmed up at all. And like I said, I've had a steady drain on it. Got my GoPro batteries charged, phone, of course that's little tiny stuff for, something like that. Wanted to show y'all something else. I got an old school cot this time, get it up off the ground a little bit. I got me an old school cot this time, old school Coleman. And any of you used these before, you got to be really careful. They're good, they're nice and tight like a drum, but these things will absolutely break your fingers clean off if you ain't careful. I had one, this one, first time we put it together, it got me good. So you just got to be careful with them puppies. You don't want to sleep on it as is. It's kind of hard, but I've got a pad, and it's self-inflating. You don't have to inflate the pad. You just turn the little valve, flip it around, and it inflates itself. Easy as that. To deflate it, you just turn the valve the other way, roll it up from the end. It presses all the air out and vacuum packs the stuffing inside there. About time to get the hamburger out and get ready to start making dinner. We're off and cooking now, ain't we? Got my taco seasoning and my lid to drain it. Just going to cook it down a little bit, get some of the grease out of it. You know how a hamburger is. And drain it real good and proceed from there. But we let it get good and done and get the grease out, all that good stuff. I'm getting hungry already, just thinking about it. Now, hamburger is, you take a pound of hamburger, by the time you cook it, you've got maybe a couple ounces, seems like. Okay, we're doing good. All right, we got 1 pound, 1 pound of hamburger, cooked, drained, slightly browned, not too much, just a little. We're ready to add. It says 3/4, but I'm gonna kind of play it by ear. Aim for getting the consistency right, figure it out later. Doritos. What do you think? Mm-hmm. And the cheese on that. That is pretty good. I'm all being polite now. I'll turn that camera off. I'm gonna take that spoon. I ain't gonna show it any pity when y'all ain't looking. Big cheesy bite. That is very good. I have to admit, that is very good. I wouldn't have thought to try. I'm not really a big, I'm more of a meat and potatoes kind of guy, but that's pretty good. Like I'm about to get some shade. Sounds really good. Shade sounds nice. I would love some shade. Thank you very much. Yes, please. But the rest of the night, it should start cooling off here. It'd be a really good night. All right. That was good. That was good. You guys want some? There's a little bit left over. You want some? Funny Doritos. Make yourself right on. Now it's a little after 7 and just kind of hanging out in my tent. The sun has finally, thank God, went behind the trees and started to set. And I was just talking to Heather a little while ago, and I think today is what, 2 days after the summer solstice. So it's like the longest, one of the longest days and hottest of the whole year. But we're all kicked back now. I got my house shoes on. I ain't even got real shoes on. I'm kicked back in my little swingy chair and watching TV. And check this out.
From the inside.
This is for a video that we did. That's the only thing I can show without getting a copyright strike. This is our video. I can't get a copyright strike for this. But this is where we did, this is our newest video, where we did the story of Mamie Thurman. Hang on. The ghost pushes your car backwards.
We rolling.
Not
No
touching
feet.
nothing.
Still going. We're still going.
Uphill backwards.
Anyway, I just thought I'd show y'all, it's actually working. It's actually working. How about that? But this one here, this is one that we did. This is one of the very first ones that, one of the old lost graves that we found on the Legends and Locations page. This was one of the first ones. And we did a sort of an anniversary edition for the young lady's anniversary, 92nd year. And we're still holding it 99%. You can't beat that, can you? I really like this thing. I really do like that. Oh, yes. This is pretty comfy. Just kick back in my easy chair and relax. Watch TV in front of the fan. This is pretty nice, guys. Relax and let the sun go down. Here in a little while I'll get me a fire going and do some more relaxing. That sounds like a really good plan right there. Alright, we'll see you guys in a little while. Look at that. Last little bit of daylight. The sun's gone. It's set. You can't see where I'm pointing, can you? It's set that way. It's gone. We're ready. I don't know. Let me get in here and get some light turned up. Hang on. Got one right here. There we go. And all the way up. Very comfy seat. I don't know how well y'all can see it. Don't look like you can see that good on the camera. I'll get a better light in a minute. Just wanted to show you we're doing good here. The battery's doing really well. My only problem is, hang on, I'll show you. Let me just kill the, oh, you can't do that, can you? It's going to disconnect it, but that kills the light. My power inverter right here has its own battery built in, and it doesn't do, I can't run the power straight from the battery straight through the inverter and out to the TV. It wants to do either charge the battery, you know, or that's, so yeah, I'm gonna have to get a regular inverter. I've got mountains and mountains of power in the battery, but I can get about 2 hours out of that little, out of my inverter with the smaller battery in it. I can get about 2 hours. That's, you know, that's running everything, TV, the fan, you know, just, you know, straight up going to town here, you know. About 2 hours. That's why we test, all right? That's why you bring this stuff out in the field, you know, and put it under a heavy load and, you know, see what happens to it, right? That's the whole point. All right, so let me get, don't know why I didn't think of that a second ago. That thing right there with the plugs on it, that's my little problem. I need to get me a regular power inverter to go with the battery. The camper has a you know, a fancy, big fancy one, you know, already built right into the camper. So all I have to do is plug it up there and we're good to go. But I do need a different inverter for when I'm out here camping with the tent and stuff like that. So yeah, lesson learned. That thing is really handy, but for long term, nope, it won't work. You'd have to, you can get about, I'm gonna say 2 hours of, you know, just running wild, you know, hook up everything, charge everything, you know, just run wild. And you get about 2 hours out of it. But then you have to dump power from this one back over into that one. You see the problem? And you can't be running the TV while you're doing it. Hence the problem. Should be able to pick up, I would say pick up a 2,000 watt inverter would more than do, you know, anything that I'm going to need out here. You could probably pick something like that up for next to nothing. 40 bucks, something like that. And, you know, you could run anything, you know, run whatever I want. Just go to town. All right. I'm going to, I guess, turn my light out. I'm going to go here in a minute and get me a little fire going. Got me a little, listen to that whippoorwill. Whippoorwill. Now you know how he got that name now, don't you? We're set up out here. Got me a little bit of wood in there. I brought one Duraflame log, but I'm just going to chop it in pieces, you know, and just use the one tonight. I don't need a lot of fire tonight. It's still 80 something, you know, low 80s. I don't need no fire tonight, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for you guys. You know, it's not a camping trip. Okay, it's not a camping trip if you don't have a campfire. That's a rule. Everyone knows that. So, you know, we got to have a fire. All right, put that back up there. Hard to do stuff when you got a camera in your hand. I don't know how well y'all can see, but I can see just fine in here. Got my bed all ready. Here in a little while I'll close my windows and doors, which you also can't see. I need to go get a flashlight, man. I can't show y'all anything. I'll be right back. Well, it's about 10:30, and so far so good. 79 degrees, and we're expecting 70. Let's see, 71 at about 4 a.m. to about 6 a.m. 71 low tonight. Got one little the quarter, 25% of a Duraflame log. You know, you got to have a campfire, you know. But I've got a nice dirt area, you know, cleared out around it, so no problems there. Just a little tiny piece chopped off of a Duraflame log, and to be honest, I probably won't even put any more on it. I don't care. It's still pretty warm. I certainly don't need a fire. Which, you know, it's a wood burning barbecue grill is what it is. I've looked for them. I've had this since the 90s. It's many truckloads of firewood and Duraflame logs have met their demise in this little fire pit right here. But I can't find them. I've looked for them. Someone asked about it, and I've looked and looked and looked and can't find them. But you could take a metal 5-gallon bucket and make holes in it, drill holes. You just want smaller holes at the bottom and larger holes at the top. And that way the flames kind of dance, you know. They don't just coals, hot embers at the bottom. So you get a little bit of flame that way out of even a little bit of wood. Now, before I got all the, you know, diesel heaters and fancy toys, you know, back in the real hillbilly camping days. Lord, there's been a lot of firewood through that thing. But like I said, I probably won't even feed it anymore. I'll probably just let it go out. Ran a few of the bugs off, I guess, though. Got my stuff set up for in the morning. Coffee. Gotta have that. Gotta be ready. Gotta be ready for coffee now. Good Lord, look at that one. That was a nice bug. Saw a few. Saw a big June bug earlier when it was hot. I started to go, you know, video him for you guys, but it was really hot. The sun was out. It was midday. I don't want to go chasing no June bugs in 97 degrees in the sun. We'll let that June bug fly. Well, we're still going. About what? Almost halfway through Jeepers Creepers Reborn, but the battery still doing good. I was looking too. It's a 100 amp hour battery, and it's still sitting at 102.7. So it's still, well, 2.7% above, you know, perfect. Keep forgetting you can't really see at night with the GoPro. The battery in the back, the Power Queen battery, it's doing great, 98%. All the USB, all the 12 volt stuff, doing great, no problems at all. It's much nicer. Oh, what is it? I'm gonna say 75. 76. Not a bad guess. Full moon tonight too. Let's see if we can see it. Nope, it's behind the trees. Right over there. Oh well, can't see the moon tonight. It's definitely dark. I'm actually moving the camera around, but you can't tell it till just now. Till you get back to some light. I can see fine though. You know, I can see great. I can see the ground and, you know, sticks and leaves and all that stuff. You just can't really, the camera doesn't do well in any kind of low light. I've got DEET all over that thing, and look at the bugs. I actually sprayed the light down with DEET. You can see it. You can see the DEET on the thing. But they still like it. They don't care. They gotta have that light, man. It's daytime here. I get ready to go to bed, I'll turn all the lights out. Leave that light on and draw them all outside. We got 2 nice USB lanterns we just ordered for camping trips. They should be here, I think it was Amazon, so 2 or 3 days. Should have those. And the next trip out, my next trip out, I will have air conditioning in this tent. You mark my words. Well, it's about midnight, 12:37, and we're still doing great on battery. 98%. It's still got 102.7 amp hours. Supposed to only be a 100 amp hour battery. It's still sitting at 102. Yeah, that's great. Did have one little issue a few minutes ago when I was closing up my tent for the night. You know, closing the porches turn into walls. Anyhow, I was closing them all down. Got that one closed and went around to do that one. Happened to look down right over here in the corner. Telltale wiggle. Snake. And sure enough, you know, got to looking. Little brown one. I don't know if it was a copperhead or, you know, young copperhead, or I didn't see a yellow tip on its tail, so I'm thinking, you know, probably just some, you know, random non-venomous snake. But just to be on the safe side, I went ahead and took me a stick and kind of escorted them out that way, out to where the berries are. You know, go over here and hunt bugs, and you know, we'll be cool. But now at the same time, now I'm seeing snakes everywhere. Oh well, I guess that's a good thing I brought the elevated bed, huh? They crawl right underneath you and you never know it. In one side and out the other, and keep right on going. You never even know he was here. It's one thing I like I said, well, not one, but one of the things, you know, I like about winter camping. Like I said, no bugs, no 97-degree heat, and no snakes in your tent. He was like right there, right on the other side of that wall, and you can see there's a little sliver of a crack underneath the edge of the tent there. So, you know, he could have came right under the tent. And that's what they're after right there. Wow, check it out, man. That cricket got him a bug, didn't he? Got him a black bug. Huh. Alright, I'm getting ready to call it a night. I'm going to shut things down and go ahead and start winding down for the night. And probably turn in here in about 30 minutes. I'll call it a night. And we will see you guys in the morning. Y'all have a good night. Good morning. Looks as though I survived the night. About 75 right now. Should be right at 90 degrees by early afternoon, 1, 2 o'clock, but it says 88 and it's going to get cloudy, 89. That sounds good. Cloudy sounds really, really good. I'll take it. But, oh yeah. Almost forgot. Look at that. 97%. All the stuff that I ran on that battery, that fan has literally ran for, I ran it all night long on low. It never turned off. That thing has been on since noon yesterday. 18 hours. And still doing good. Oh Lord. Yes, get me some coffee. I ain't been up that long. I sat up at 1:30, I don't know, before I finally went to bed. But yeah, it was really nice, just kind of soaking it up. Soaking up the ambiance, right? Enjoy it while you got it. But yeah, we'll get some coffee here and I guess try to get started getting packed. Got a lot of junk to get gathered up. And hopefully we'll get out of here before it gets to 90. You know, that would be a plus. Still got all of that to do. All of it. Right now, all I care about is coffee. Well, we're all woke up and coffee'd up. Unfortunately, the sun is getting woke up and coffee'd up too. Yeah. It is awful nice right now though. You know, just the sunlight dancing through the leaves and birds and the wind blowing. It's really nice. It is a really, really nice morning to be out here doing this stuff, guys. Beautiful. You know, I mentioned that before, you know, growing up here and, you know, doing the tours here for years and, you know, the YouTube channel out here in it, you know, all the time. You kind of, I guess you kind of take it for granted. Yeah, I've seen trees before, you know, but I don't know, man. Shouldn't be taken for granted, you know, just the beauty of it alone. You know, how beautiful it is. Just that one aspect. I mean, it's just trees and rocks and dirt, you know. But in the right combination, it looks pretty good, don't it? For a bunch of old trees and rocks and weeds, it looks pretty good. Very inviting. There's just something about it, you know, about getting out in the wilderness. Something, I don't know, something instinctual, you know. You just want to be out there doing stuff. Of course, I guess some people aren't like that. Some people hate the outdoors. They would rather take a beating than come out here. Of course, 97 degrees yesterday. It's in full sun. Yeah, that was kind of like taking a beating. But yeah, we took a beating to get here, not take a beating to avoid it. Last night was really nice. I really very much enjoyed that. Morning so far has been awesome. Except for the snake last night. He was right there. There's a little copperhead. I believe it was a little copperhead. I didn't, you know, I didn't see the yellow tip. They usually have a little yellow tip on their tail. But I just kind of took me a stick and got him over through that way and then flicked him. You know, you go your way, I'll go my way. We'll both, you know, that sort of thing. How cool is that? Birds, wind blowing through the trees, raining, little pine needles. This right here is what it's all about. This is very nice. That breeze feels great too. Well, it took me about an hour and a half to get everything, you know, cleaned up, packed up, and loaded up. But I got my spot all cleaned out. You can't tell, other than a little spot of freshly cut grass in a shady area. You never know I was here. And I picked up, there wasn't a whole lot of trash, just a little bit. I picked up, you know, picked up some anyway. You know how it is. But I got everything all loaded up. Got my cargo net over it. Look at that. So much junk I've got stuff over here tied to the side with wire ties. Look at that. It's been a great little trip. I've had a ball. Wanted to show y'all final stats. Check this out. Just got off the phone with Heather. That's real handy about being someplace where you have cell service. I'm not really used to that unless I'm you know, campgrounds are cool. This is, you know, I like campgrounds, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of people, you know, they're kind of people-y. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You like people, but you like them, you know, over there just a little bit, you know, not right here. You know what I mean. Primitive camping, you know, there's no one around. You're not going to run into anybody out here. But anyway, what I wanted to show you after all that stuff, now it's a 100 amp hour battery. As of right now, it's at 97%, and it's still sitting at 101.6 amp hours. So it's still got more than they promise. After using it all night long, y'all saw I had that fan running constantly. I mean, it was smoking hot yesterday from like 2 to 4. Was really, really hot. I'm not playing, it was hot. But, you know, so I had the fan running the entire time, constantly dumping power to the little inverter to, you know, run the TV. I got, 3-4 hours worth. Probably could have got a little bit longer if I hadn't been, you know, doing other things with it. But that's okay. We learned. We know something now. We know how to watch TV, you know, a lot longer. All I need is a little inverter, and that problem is corrected. But yeah, this is awesome. This is really cool. I hope y'all enjoyed our little trip out here in hillbilly country, and, you know, eating raspberries. I went back to the raspberry bush about 4 times since I've been here. About 4 times I went over there and just great big fistfuls of ripe raspberries right straight off the vine. I mean, they are surprisingly, shockingly delicious. Just, you know, juicy and sweet, and yeah, they're really, really freaking good. The raspberries blow blackberries out of the water. Make them look bad. All right, I guess I need to get on out of here. Let me take one more quick peek around. All right, let's get out of here. Got a little bit of a hill, kind of rutted. right up here. Look at all that. Blackberries. Untrustworthy blackberries. But look at that. Look how big they are. Those are huge. No doubt. Alright. 4-wheel drive. Probably don't need it. I know I don't need it, but Look at all of them. Tons and tons of berries. Open sky. Last place you wanted to be yesterday, wasn't it? 97 degrees. Alright guys, I guess I'm out of here. Thank y'all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the little trip, you know, relaxing, all that good stuff, and hope you enjoyed the battery, the Power Queen battery. That was I was blown away by the thing. I really was. Anyway, they've got 2 sales coming up in June or July. We'll post some information about that for you guys too, if anybody wants to get one. Intersection. My kind of intersection. Alright guys, we'll see y'all a little bit later. Y'all have a really good one, and I guess that's it. Leo out. See y'all next time. Pit stop on the way back out. Look at all these. They're everywhere. Great big ones, big red ones. Look at that. I can't eat them fast enough. That is so good. Wow. Wow, guys. All right. See you next time. Take 2.